Europa se detiene en la MOA. Señoras y señores, bienvenidos a Trans-Europe Express. Esta noche para ti, de Canadá, Dear Criminals, feliz escucha.
Europe stops at the MOA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trans-Europe Express. This night for you. From Canada, dear criminals, happy listening.
L'Europe se arrête à la MOA. Mesdames et messieurs accueillent Trans-Europe Express. Cette nuit pour vous du Canada, des Dear Criminals, bonne écoute.
Europe stoppt am MOA. Meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen auf Trans-Express. Diese Nacht für Sie aus Kanada, dear Criminal, alles Gute zum Zuhören.
Europa para a Lua. Senhoras e senhores, bem-vindo ao Trans-Europe Express. Esta noite para você, do Canadá, Dear Criminals, ouvindo.
Europa alta, c'è la gola, Museum of Operation Avalanche, città notto, del canale, Camas Divinas, Felicia ascoltato.
L'Europa si ferma al MOA. Signori e signore, benvenuti a Trans-Europe Express questa notte per voi. Dal Canada, Dear Criminals, buon ascolto.
Hi there, and welcome to the last appointment of this year, 2014, with Trans-Europe Express. We are always here at MOA, Museum of Operation Avalanche in Eboli, and as always, MOA is an innovative cultural place. Today we are happy to have here as guests a band from Canada, Dear Criminals, in particular from Montreal. Hi guys, and welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, what kind of music do you produce?
We call it haunted folk or electro porn. So it's a mix between folk music and electronic influences, and we try to create something that is kind of sensual but also very deep and yeah, soft, beautiful music. We try.
Electro-romantic.
Electro-romantic.
Okay. How's your collaboration started?
We met each other 5 years ago. You know something called MySpace, probably. Yeah, I had my music on MySpace like 5 years ago, and then we met. And after she started to download my music and sing on top of it, like on GarageBand, and she keep on like sending me some stuff and like, I want to sing with you, I want to sing with you. And I was like, who's this girl? And anyway, and we finally ended up playing together. I invited her to play with me, to sing with me in a concert in Montreal. And then after we stayed in touch, and 2 years ago we decided to start this project for a little concert, like in a small bar in Montreal. That's about it, yeah. And now, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, why the name Dear Criminal?
There's something soft, dear, and something more tough. You know, yeah, it's good to me. And also the first show we did, there was a board outside on the sidewalk to announce the show, and 5 minutes before the show we changed 17 times the name of the band. We didn't have a band name, and so the last name before we got on stage was Dear Criminals, so we kept it. But you know, 2 seconds before it was something completely different, so that's a good name. It stuck to us. It's fate.
Okay. Are you satisfied about your project, about your music?
Of course, yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, we're never really totally satisfied. That's why we keep on doing it. But I feel satisfied. It brings me a lot, like, to keep on doing this project and play with her. And Vincent, he's not there, but we are three usually.
And there is a particular message in your music, in your songs.
Well, I like to think that it's an invitation to beauty, because I think today in 2014, everyone tries to just do something new and something different and be the next new big thing, and sometimes we forget to just do music because it touches us and we find it pretty. So it's kind of an invitation to just take the time to listen to music again.
Mm.
Today we listen to a song for 10 seconds, then we skip, you know, other song. We don't listen to an album from A to Z anymore. So we wanted to do contemplative, anyways, music that will invite you to stop and just listen and cry in your bed. But yeah, so that's kind of the message. But besides that, what we talk about is, you know, personal stuff from fears to what brings us joy, from death to love. So
in a really metaphoric way, because like we want people to be able to make their own meaning, or to to make their own interpretation of what we're saying. So
and slowly, like not a message but a mission of ours is to slowly start working with other disciplines, because I don't know how it is in Italy, but in Canada often like musicians play with musicians, dancers with dancers, and painters with painters, and there's not a lot of ways that musicians integrate other artistic disciplines. So it's slowly trying to break this thing, well, for us, and integrate other forms of art and try to find meaning in our work and in other ways, and to open your brain differently than just listening to music, but music and another form of art and stuff like that. So.
To make your way towards the outrage, yours your reach. I swear you had slept in us. Then she was working through silent kiss and tears. All the pain inside to an audible place. Folks is laying down the most shadow, pounding up her logs, and polishing her dogs, and Mardi Gras rolling in the logs, or I think the bees lost in the bushes song. The bushes song.
And before your collaboration, what were your project and your project?
Me, before, I started music pretty late, but I started in studying music, classical guitar, so I started playing classical guitar, and eventually I worked with theater and composed theater music, electroacoustic music, and I worked with a specific theater, and finally I end up like singing some song that I composed, and eventually I started a band called Better Lovers, and that's where I met Franny with her other band, and after I had another band called Lack of Sleep, was a lot more rock music, and then we finally got together to create this project here for us. That's about it.
Before Your Criminals, I was and I'm still in another band called Random Recipe, which is a mix between hip hop and pop and electro. And I think both of us, when we met, he was in Lack of Sleep, I was in Random Recipe, and we were doing a lot of shows that were hyperactive, like bouncy, jumping around, and we missed doing something that was more intimate and calm and soft and more like in your heart, something very vulnerable. And so that's why we started this band. And what's great is that the fact that we all have something else possible, there's a lot of flexibility in how and when we write music, when we do shows. And we say it's a parallel project because it's a side of everything else in our lives, but we take it as seriously and we love it as much as any other thing we have. But it's just always fun to have this other foot outside that allows you to step back sometimes when things become way too important and it's all you see. So it's good to have other bands and other projects. And, yeah.
which of your song has a particular place in your heart?
Oh, yeah, the thing is pretty much all have particular place in my heart. I mean, they're songs like really intimate music and really close from what I live and like in life, whether it's a breakup or whatever kind of story that can happen. So I feel like it's hard question to answer. I would say maybe Stay Tonight, because it's yeah, for me it was a tough moment of my life when I wrote this song, and it has this particular like meaning, and it's kind of a deep soul for me. Soul, yeah. That's it.
Okay, and you?
Stay Tonight is a good song also for me. It speaks of a couple that's been together for to me it speaks of that, but a couple that's been together for 50 years and one of them dies. So like this loneliness of not even knowing how to live when you're alone. But also to me, Crave is a song that has a statement also in what it sounds like. It's what the second album opens with. And there's just something, it's like, it feels like it's right on what we wanted to do inside the music. And also there's like more significant songs, like Rose is a song that talks about my mom and his mom and like our moms in general, and this fear of your mom dying one day. So it's, they all have their meanings, and because of moments when we wrote them, like we wrote this song and right after my mom became sick, so it was like, we played the show for the first time in front of her and she had just learned that she had cancer. So it was, there's like these songs that, you know, are just very meaningful because they take a place in your life after you wrote them too.
So very close to the heart.
Yes.
Okay.
I will wake up with you still. I know it's late and love is here, but I will stretch until we rest. You kinda got just as we are. One by one we fuck the stars, holding on to this world ends. And I would rather be with you than all these things I wanted to. And every time I think about you, I hear the lies that I told. Should I really care about the stars if they're watching without you? Wrapped in blanket, hungry heart, held in the hands of vicious swans. Dark envies in your eyes. Constellations dancing high. All alone we fuck the skies. Hope this moment never dies. I would rather be with you than all these things I wanted to. Every time I think about you, I hear the last that I told. Should I really care
Grazie.
Bravi!
Have you visited MOA? What do you think about it?
I really enjoy. Actually, we just got here a few hours ago, so I didn't have, and we had to sound check and everything, but I didn't really have the time to like walk around. But I really like what I've seen in people, and like the sound is amazing. I'm really happy to be here.
But just also the place itself is beautiful. It's already a museum without the things on the wall, because so we don't have old structures really in Quebec and Montreal.
And it has so much history. I feel like it has so much soul and history, and like, I don't know.
And we only kind of always hear the American versions of wars because that's where we live, you know, so it's fun to, it's not fun, but it's interesting to see the other way around, and it touches our families too, like our grandparents, well, my grandparents were in the war, and also, so it's fun to see where they actually were, and to have a feeling of history, and we see all these structures and these cities every day when we tour, and to know a little bit more of the depth of what's behind every city is great.
Yeah.
You have to have your city with you, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. The first one?
That's his son that his son that drew this, and it's called Weapons. So guns, which is kind of weird to be in a museum about the war, and it's called Weapons, but yeah, and that's great.
This one is this one's the latest. It's called Crave, and yeah, that's about it. It's this is an artwork from American artist, collage, and that's it.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming.
Grazie mille.
Okay.
Ciao. Grazie.
Okay. This appointment with Trans Europe Express stops here. We'll be waiting for you next year. And remember that experiencing more is good for our heart. Bye.